Hi, everybody. Hey, all month we've been talking about foundational systems for your business, right? So you can have some structure to lean on when things are going crazy, right? So you don't get overwhelmed and you don't get distracted down a rabbit hole, that kind of thing. When you have foundational systems in place, you can stay methodical about how you're building everything. You're building components, right? Bricks, if you will, to stack together and in their as a collective item, they are actually improving the way that you run your business. And so, sorry, I had a hard time spitting that out. but but you know what I'm saying? It's like when you can systemize everything and you can start with small things, right? Like small things. If you create content, create a little system for yourself so that you can repeat that over and over again. Systematize how you bring your clients on board, right? An onboarding system. Of course, we know we need a lead generation system as well, right? But when you dive into a lead generation system, there are a lot of different components that you can consider as a lead generation system. And so creating these mini systems and then having them work together will help save you time and money and stress and everything. And here's the thing, like once you create something, one of these systems, like let's say you're building a social media system that you want to leverage. Maybe you're using somebody's social media system that you found on the internet or whatever, right? And you want to get that implemented. And then once it's a system and you have it more as a maintenance task rather than a starting from scratch task, you can actually delegate that more easily, because once you systematize, if you document it and then make a policy for it, then your person who you hire is going to know exactly what is expected of them. Exactly what is expected of them. They'll have a policy, they'll have a procedure, and they will have a system that they depend on to help them manage the social media for you, rather than them having to create a system. Because I don't know if you've ever tried to hire a VA. When you hire, the lower you pay for a VA, the less skill they have and the less um, uh, oh, what's the word I want to say? Not innovation, but I'll think of the word anyway. So, an initiative, the less initiative they have, because they are relying on your systems. They're relying on you to tell them exactly what to do. That's why if you've ever hired a virtual assistant for like 10 or 15 bucks an hour, you may have found that they they don't really have systems in place. They just do what they're told, and then they expect to do it the way you do things and the way you want them done, right? If you have somebody who you pay a little bit more, you can expect more initiative, and then you could actually have them help you set up those systems, right? So that's why I love systems. I think systems are a huge foundational piece to your business. And when you start getting more and more and more of those puzzle pieces together, those bricks for your foundation, then life is going to get easier. Things get easier for you to implement. Like if you want to start having something like a boot camp every month or every 6 weeks or every 8 weeks or something, it's a lot easier if you have a boot camp system in place, right? So, so think about that as you are going through all of the work that you do. Anything that you repeat or anything that you feel like you're starting from scratch all over again every single time, those are the things that you want to start looking at systematizing. Because when you start systematizing, you sort of commit to repeating and improving your processes as you go through it, right? As you iterate over and over and over, you're going to keep improving it, right? Like the iPhone kind of thing. Systems are the same way. It's sort of almost like a product or a blueprint or something for that part of your business, right? And so the more you can commit to systems and creating systems, the less you're going to be doing random things, throwing spaghetti at the wall, trying one thing, barely even committing to it, and then trying another and trying another. And so you're all sprawled out, and your time is so divided that you're not staying focused on those things that are going to actually move the needle on your business. And I'm talking about also staying within your offer ladder, right? Because a lot of times when we're brand new at running a business, we have so many ideas, right? And we want to just try different things. And well, that's throwing spaghetti at the wall, right? And we don't want to do that. We want to make sure that all of our messaging is consistent, that we're always talking about, something that's part of our offer ladder, so that we can make sure that, people aren't confused when they come to our groups, right? We want to make sure that they understand what it is that we're doing in each one of our groups. If you are a fitness coach, well, diving into something that's not really related to fitness isn't going to attract more of your clients. It might actually confuse them. And so using the old, well, I created this thing and then I sent out one email and it didn't sell. And so it must be a bad idea. I'm going to just do something else. And so I sent out one email and then that didn't sell. So I'm going to try something else. That is not a system. That is just being random, throwing spaghetti at the wall, and not even following through with an entire marketing plan, right? And that's what you really need to have whenever you introduce a product, is a marketing plan. Now, I'm not saying that you don't need to drive that spike and do it a few times before you can create a system. You might do it real time, and that's perfectly okay. Like if you're writing emails every single day while you're promoting something, that's perfectly okay. But really what you're trying to do is then help yourself get a pattern, right? You're looking for patterns. You're looking for context so that you can, kind of keep something, I guess, like in one little basket, right? You keep it in a basket. And that's why creating projects can really help you, because let's say you are going to launch a product and then you want to create your marketing plan for it. That marketing plan could be a project that you drive the spike, do everything that you need to do. Then you might even repeat it once more before you start documenting it and getting it into a more formal place for your business. And you might even have to repeat it several times to do that, but that's okay. But as long as you're keeping your mind on committing to building a system for yourself, something you can repeat, documenting as you go, creating cheat sheets, workflows, templates, all that kind of stuff, repeatable processes, all those things, you will have better luck being more efficient when you deploy these things, rather than scrambling and trying to start from scratch every time because you never even took notes. And the worst part is you never even do like a lessons learned, right? And that's the thing about having a system, is you kind of do a lessons learned at the end to evaluate how what you did worked for you. And if it didn't work, where did it break down? Where do you feel like it broke down? And if it did work, where did it work? What were the pieces that were good and successful? And how can you repeat that? How can you improve on that, right? That's what systems are all about. And so it's not just about creating a template and then you just blindly follow it, or, a checklist and you just blindly follow it. It's about improving your processes, getting it documented, and repeating for stickability, right? And then getting it written down, getting it documented, and then if necessary, creating a policy and procedures document for your business. You may not always be a solopreneur if you're a solopreneur now. You may grow so much that you have to hire help, and you might grow quickly where you have to hire help and hire it now, right? So it's better to start building your systems now, getting those things in place so that you can basically you're documenting the decisions that you made about your business. So an example would be when I worked in IT, I worked in several different shops, and one of my shops was, we considered ourselves a Java shop, right? We were a Java shop. And then another one I was at, we were a Microsoft shop. And what that means is we made the decision to write all of our code in Java, or we made the decision to write all of our code in Microsoft.NET, right? And we didn't like use both languages, because that creates a real problem. One is, it's too hard to hire talent because you have to hire a diverse group, and then they have a hard time supporting each other because they have to learn the other language, right? So think about that, right? And then the other issue is it just makes it hard because you have to buy licensing and software and, you know, all the tools that are needed for each platform. And so it's a waste of money. So think about that. You know, that's what you're trying to do, is document the decisions that you're making, right? You wouldn't allow, you know, if you're using ActiveCampaign for your email, you wouldn't allow your VA to start writing emails to your list using MailerLite. That just doesn't even make sense, right? Now you got to pay for MailerLite. Now you got to pay for ActiveCampaign as well, right? You don't do that. And that's what building systems is about. It's about creating norms for your business and solidifying those decisions that you make about running your business, okay? All right, you guys, I will see you in the comments. Bye-bye.